Welcome to Fraser Mac Gaming. I'm Fraser Mac. This is the latest video in my Fraser Mac Gaming News series. I go through the latest news for the Switch, cover the games coming to our favourite hybrid system, and have the occasional rant when something pisses me off. So we've been bombarded with fantastic indie games on the Switch throughout its short lifetime, and in my opinion they've been one of the big highlights of the system. Indies have been so popular that more and more of them are coming out with a physical release. Or their sales are funding physical releases further down the line. We can thank Nicalis and Limited Run Games for that, and lately more and more companies have been getting in on the action. Limited Run Games and Nicalis have been the top contenders for supplying us gaming addicts with their physical fix of Switch titles, but one company is staking its claim for that top spot, and they're looking to blow Nicalis and Limited Run Games away. Who are they? Super Rare Games. And what have they done to challenge for the physical release title? Hit that subscribe button and find out after this. Super Rare Games have been around for 5 months at the time of recording, and they released 3 Nindies as limited physical releases to date. Human Fall Flat, The Flame in the Flood, and Sheltered Generations. Try saying that 3 times really fast. They've sold pretty well, but they're not sold out with a stampede of Switch owners rushing to buy them day one. So what do you do when you're the new kid on the block and you want to up the hype train? You sign up a beautiful, talented model with a cool accent and long flowing locks to turn heads. Yes, some of you might already know the ultra talented Wood Hawker, or just Wood if you watch the channel a lot. I want to do a big shout out to the Beat 'em Ups channel, as I'm a big fan, and I'm going to shamelessly use lots of footage from his exclusive reveal of 9 indie games that Super Rare Games will be bringing us over the coming months. First up is Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. Yes, the game is as bold, colourful and weird as the name suggests. It's a local co-op game for 2 to 4 players, which is great for people with any friends. I feel your pain, Wood. Thankfully, you can play with the AI as a companion. I've not played the game, but I've been told it's a lot of fun if you have some friends to enjoy it with. You have to work together to fly a massive neon spaceship and kill the never-ending enemies known as Anti-Love. Yes, it's just weird from start to finish. You can rescue bunnies in space and enjoy epic space battles. Yeah, bunnies in space. It just gets weirder. I'm not a big co-op player for obvious reasons. It's single-player games for me. It's got a very good Metacritic score of 86 though, if that means anything to you or if you put any weight on it. But people speak pretty highly of it. The big news is it's available right now on Super Rare Games website. All the details will be below. It costs £29.99 or $34.99, but stock is very limited. There was only 3,000 copies initially, and at the time of recording, which is the 20th of July, there's extremely limited numbers left, so you're going to have to get in there quick if you want to grab that lovely physical copy. Next up is an awesome 2D retro-inspired platformer with a great collection of games that were originally on the 3DS, and it's got a new game just for the Switch owners all thrown into the package. It's a great collection of muddy games under one roof, the Mutant Muds collection. It contains Mutant Muds Deluxe, which is a 12-bit action platformer with 80 levels to work your way through. It's got an awesome mechanic where you can jump into the background and the foreground using a jetpack, and you can use water cannons to blast away the Mutant Muds and collect water sprites to wash the Mutant Muds away forever. The second game is Mutant Muds Super Challenge. Mutant Muds Super Challenge is Mutant Muds, but only for the hardcore mud fans. It's got more than 40 levels filled with ultra muddy mutant muds, challenging platforming and unique boss fights. And finally, the last but not least, is the Mutant Mud Blocks. It's a Mutant Muds puzzle game which supports tape mode. What's not to like? Mutant Muds collection is expected out in August, but no specific dates have been confirmed yet. Next up is Worms w.m.d. Yes, Worms is still a thing. If you're as old as me, or as young as me is what I meant to say, you'll remember the era of games like Cannon Fodder, Lemmings and Worms. Those were the days. turn-based cartoony and humorous tactic games with all kinds of weapons and multiplayer that was guaranteed to cause arguments and fights between even your best of friends. Yes, Worms w.m.d is the latest in a long line of Worms games, and anyone with a penchant for some explosive Worm nostalgia is going to be very happy to get a physical copy of this for your Switch. A release date for most of these games is not available yet, so you'll have to keep an eye on Super Rare Games Twitter and their website for further details. I'm sure Wood Hawker might be involved in any dates or any future information, so watch this space. The next two games for all you turn-based retro-style pixel art RPG Dungeons and Dragons board game fans. Yes, I know there's a lot of you. That's why Super Rare Games are releasing Knights of Pen and Paper Plus 1 Deluxe Edition and Knights of Pen and Paper 2 Deluxeist Edition. Some fancy titles there for Dungeons and Dragons games. Knights of Pen and Paper 1 was only released on Switch at the end of May this year. It had been on Windows, Mac and mobile devices for a number of years before it was ported over though, but Wood got to exclusively reveal that Knights of Pen and Paper 2 is coming to Switch as well. The whole game is played at a table and you see the actions of the players through their imagination. You can play as any of the players in the game universe and also as the Dungeon Master. Players will also break the fourth wall and even go for a piss. Or the bathroom, for the more polite people amongst us. I wasn't aware of the Knights and Pen and Paper games before this announcement, but all the Dungeons and Dragons fans could be in for a real treat when they get a chance to get this Switch physical copy later this year, I'm sure. Another collection of games is up next, and it's for all you Zeldies out there and Ys RPG fans. There's another retro-inspired top-down game coming to Switch. The Faerun games, or Faerun games, however you pronounce it, have been ported over from the 3DS, and the collection contains Faerun 2, Byron Origin and Byron Blast. Byron has some very basic game mechanics but very addictive. Battle basically involves running into enemies, and if your level is high enough then you just basically kill them on the spot. But Byron is fairly short. Byron 2 though is the biggest game in the collection and comes with better reviews from gamers. Byron Origin is another very short but fun-filled game with enjoyable puzzles, and the game I'm most excited to get my hands on though is Byron Blast, which strangely is a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. You'll need to unlock it by completing the other games, but don't worry, they are not epic Breath of the Wild or Ys 8 adventures. I love shoot 'em ups, and I'll take as many as I can get. And what's a bigger challenge for a shoot 'em up game than making you complete 3 other RPG games before you can even play it? Forget your Ikaruga, Super Aleste or Gradius, Byron is where it's at. The Switch is known for its retro-inspired pixelated games going back through the different generations of gaming from the last, 40 odd years. There's polygons, there's 16-bit games, there's 8-bit games, there's even ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64 style games. There's also N++, whatever style it's supposed to be. It's ugly, but at the same time it's beautiful, is what some people say. Like a bulldog or a pug, it's so ugly, it's cute. That's N++. At first sight it looks like an awful student project that's a piece of shovelware, but like Shrek, there's supposed to be a Prince Charming underneath that ugly exterior. I've not played it yet, so I have to take others' word for it, but it's supposed to be 4,340 handmade levels of hardcore platforming goodness. It's jam-packed with content, with the ability to make custom levels, edit levels and share them globally. There's leaderboards, there's replays, there's local 4-player co-op, and there's a hardcore mode for intense single-player challenges. There's even secret challenges to discover. So N++ might not look glorious on the outside, but don't judge a book by its cover. That famous old saying. So one I might check out at some point, and Super Rare Games will obviously announce more info on its release physically at a later date. We're on to the final 2 games now, and we're finishing strong. There's a couple of games here I'm definitely keen to pick up physical copies of. The penultimate game on the list is a classic platformer and cartoon inspired game, Adventure Pals. What do you do when your dad goes missing and someone is turning all the world's old people into hot dogs? You get your best friends together, a giraffe and a rock, and you put down that weird smelling pipe you've been smoking and you take on the bad guys. Yes, you have to learn new abilities, use bombs, and you have a trusty sword to take on the bad guys with. There's 5 awesome worlds to explore. You get to collect secret stickers and obviously stop those old people turning into hot dogs. It's a weird game, and I'd like to know what its developers Massive Monster were smoking when they came up with the idea, but it's got good reviews and it has a colourful, fun-filled charm. There's also rumours of a giraffe helicopter tongue. You can't get much weirder than lovers in a dangerous space-time. Or can you? For all you fans of shoot-em-ups, I've saved the best for last. Yes, we're finally coming to the last game on the list of 9 games that Super Rare Games will be releasing physically on the Switch. If you watch these videos regularly, you know how much I love shoot-em-ups. I might not be a competitive world record-holding shoot-em-up player, but I've definitely played my fair share of the years, and I own countless more that I tend to play on my Switch. I've just not had time yet. The final game announced by Super Rare Games is Starid and Binary Stars. I've played it. I was lucky enough to meet Matthew Ogier from Pixel Nest at EGX Resd, and I can't wait to get a shiny physical copy of it to go with my digital version. It's a tough as hell side-scrolling 2D shoot 'em up with a great classic feel, and it's mixed with a little bit of roguelite elements as well. It's a bullet hell shooter. It'll make you just feel like you're back in those arcade days. It's great for quick playthroughs, and it's full of upgrades. There's 42 weapons, 30 upgrades it says, and it has some wobbly knee-inducing pixelated graphics. All you R-Type fans out there know what I'm talking about. I'd love to talk about the music, but I can't turn it on, unfortunately. There's multiple game modes to explore, there's big boss fights to enjoy, you can play it with your friends, it helps you out definitely if there's more than one ship going on. Tell me where to send my money, tell me when, Super Rare Games. I'm ready and waiting for Starid and Binary Stars. Do you think it's all over? Some people are on their Switch. That's not all, folks, though. There's another special announcement. Yes, Super Rare Games had one more surprise for us this week. With them reaching 10,000 followers on Twitter, they have promised they will reveal another game, and it's going to be the most requested game they've had in their 5 months of existence. Now, don't get too excited, because there was a campaign to get one of the worst eShop releases so far, Room in the Night Sky, as a physical release. Unfortunately, it got some traction and did get thousands of retweets. Maximum trolling and maximum comedy gone a little bit wrong there. So I'm hoping it's something far more exciting, but we'll have to wait and see. We shouldn't have long to wait, but Super Rare Games do like a little bit of cryptic, drawn-out Twitter revealing. So hopefully within the next 24-48 hours we should find out what that game is. So you've had your 9 Super Rare Games that will be getting physical releases over the coming months. Most don't have release dates, but keep an eye on their Twitter and social media for more details. Their games are typically £29.99 or $34.99, so they don't break the bank, but I can vouch for the quality, and I think the thought that gets put in the final product is very, very good. I'm a very happy owner of Human Fall Flat and Flame in the Flood. I want to give a big shout out to Wood, who did an awesome reveal for all those games. I'll leave a link to the video and Super Rare Games website and all their details down below. But what are your favourites? What will you be picking up? And have you played any of the games announced? Also, are there any games you want Super Rare Games to release in the future? Leave me some comments down below or get in touch on social media. I'm at Fraser Gaming on Twitter and Instagram, so check me out. If this is your first time, then please hit that subscribe button and help me get to 50 subs. Turn on notifications so you won't miss any of my videos, and I'll see you on the next one.